83b, the Mishnah. Okay, good. Kodem shani nenu lebrios. Yeah, the woman says, makes a neder, she will not benefit from people, human beings, any yochel affair. Which means she's not going to benefit them, and she can't even take their food. So it seems to be like this. Seemingly it's even nefesh. Let's say the husband would be included within brios, right? What he says, I will not benefit from human beings. And let's say she intended her husband should be part of the group. That means she's out in the cold. How is she supposed to live? So we have to say the reason is that the husband's not included. And that's why that since the husband, she could benefit from the husband, that's why he can't. But then we have a problem. The Gemara says, but factually, she could benefit from the gleanings of the field. So we have a problem. Is it the husband not included? If the husband's not included, what does the Mishnah have to continue? But she could be benefit like shikul peyo. Okay, the Gemara's going to ask the question. It seems to be is included, but it's still not eating nefesh because she has food available to her. Kohanim, Kohanim, Leviim, Nenenli. Let's say she says Kohanim, Leviim are not permitted to benefit from me. So we're talking about truma. That means the Kohen's not permitted to take truma from her. Yitlu al korcha. They could collect. They could collect from her. Why? So the Gemara's going to get involved. Now, there's a question. The Gemara, it's just an introduction here. When a person has the right to pick and choose the Kohen to give the truma to, does he have a financial interest in the truma? You understand? Let's say Torah says you should give truma to a Kohen. You should give this to a Kohen. That I have the right doesn't mean say that I have some kind of intrinsic financial ownership in the truma, and that's right why I have a right to pick and choose which Kohen. If that's the case, we have a problem. So if that's the case, when she says I have no Kohen and Levi is permitted to benefit from me, why could they take it against her will? Factually, she has a financial. They're taking something that she has a financial interest in, right? So what do you see from it? This is called tovas no enum. Her right to give it, to choose the Kohen, has no relevance. She has no financial interest in there. Therefore, when they take it, they're not benefiting from her. But then the Mishnah continues. What about if she says Kohanim elu v'Leviim elu? These Kohanim, these Leviim cannot benefit from me. It says, right? Nenenli yitlu acherim. They're not permitted. Others. So we have we have a contradiction in the Mishnah. From the first statement, the Mishnah seems to be that that she has no financial interest. Therefore, she makes the neder. Any Kohen could take it, and any Levi could take it. Then it concludes. But if she singles out a Kohen and Levi, then they can't. Why can't they? If she has no financial interest, why can't they take it? Right? The Mishnah is contradictory. You see the contradiction in the Mishnah? No, when you're following the contradiction. Okay, the Gemara is going to ask it. So Gemara says, Alma, Efshid Mizana be delay. The Mishnah says here, she says, I will not benefit from any human being. It says he could be Mayfair. It says he cannot be Mayfair. So evidently, why? Because the husband's not included in human beings. She meant everybody but her husband. Mechal de Ba'ala Bechal Briyusu. Let's read a little further in the Mishnah. The conclusion, it says, but she could, because she could collect from the gleanings in the field. She could take from that. But it seems to be from the husband she cannot benefit. So we have a contradiction. First, it seems the Mishnah is saying he can't be Mayfair. Why? Why can't he null it? Because the husband's not included. So therefore, it's not Inui Nefesh because she has no alternative. The husband will support her. Then it says, because she could take from the gleaning of the field, which are hefker. Which means, what do we need that for? She has the husband. Yeah, factually, he's not part of the brios. But the question is, what happens if the husband's a poor man and the husband can't feed her? So therefore, firstly, it's the husband. But even if the husband can't afford to feed her, she had both, right? That's the answer. You have the case. Factually, the husband's not included. But let's say the husband's a poor man, and he can't feed her. So if that's the case, by putting everybody off limits to her, it's Inui Nefesh. The answer is no, she has no alternative. If the husband doesn't have, that means he's a poor man. That means she's poor. If she's poor, she can take from the gleanings of the field. So again, since she still has no alternative, that's the reason why the husband can't be mefer, cannot null the netter. It's not inui nefesh. The reason why she's not being deprived, firstly, the husband, she can take from the husband. And even if, in fact, the husband does not have, so if the husband doesn't have, that means she qualifies as what? As a poor person. As a poor person, she has no alternative. She can take from the left shikhupeya, from the gleanings of the field, which anybody who's poor has a right to take from there. No, we had earlier. If it's inui nefesh, if she makes a netter, which she's afflicted because of that net, let's say she'll starve to death. She's going to starve. She says, all people, I cannot benefit from anybody. So that's the case. You could be made for the nether. Let's say everybody would include even the husband. So how is she going to live? That means this nether being in effect, she's in a tight position now. How is she going to survive? No. No, we had it earlier. You can only cancel one of two nedarim, either inu nevish, or it's something that interferes with their relationship. Right? Any other kind of neder he cannot nullify. She has to go to a chacham for that. She has to go through the conventional means of nullification. Yeah. Okay. See what happens when you take off a week. Okay. Good thing Norman's in touch with his office continuously wherever he is. Okay. Rav Omar, Rav says, Olam bal b'chlal b'riyusu. The husband is included in the netter. So if he's included in the netter, so why isn't it inu nefesh? The answer is, matam komer. The Mishnah is going to explain. Why is it not inu nefesh? Matam in yochlov yichol lehonis b'lek shikupeyo. That's the answer. That since she has no alternative, factually the husband is. So if that husband is, so she's out in the cold. The answer is she's not out in the cold. Because since she could take from the gleanings of the field, she has no alternative. She has a means of support. So that's the reason why it's not inu nefesh. Rav Nachman Amar Olam Baal Lav B'Chlav Riyosef. Hear this? The husband is not included in the neder. V'achik Torah. Nizgarsho. Listen to the story. What happens now? Let's say the husband is not included. So the husband's not included. So therefore, she could benefit from it. What happens if he divorces her? So once he divorces her, she's no longer his husband. He's no different than a stranger. So if he's no different than a stranger, she said, people, I cannot benefit from people. So now her husband becomes part of that classification of people. So the reason why he can't annul it now without for even if she divorces her, because she has lekshik. For now, you don't need lekshik pay. The husband's not included within the nether. But what happens if he divorces her and he says, I can't benefit from people? That means people are not related to me. So once divorce takes place, he should be able to null the nether now for later. The answer is he can't. You know why? Because even if he divorces her, she still has no alternative. She has lekshik pay available for her that she could benefit from. Okay? Finished. Let's do a little round. Just take a moment.
When would you think that if she made this vow that it would cause strain in their relationship?
No, won't strain. They won't strain. No. Strain in relationships only if they can't have relations. That could strain. Or let's say she doesn't wash herself, that would put a strain on a relationship. Okay? Let's let Rava Omar, that round over there. It's about 10 lines up. Rava Olam Baal B'Chlav Riyosef. Rava says that's the last one. The husband's included in the neder. Umatam koma, matam en yochel hofer. Lolam Baal B'Chlav Riyosef. Matam komar, matam en yochel hofer. Neshechol lehonas lekshul peo. Spir le Rava. The aval gav l'ktoni neshechol lehonos mimelo mashmad matam kashetuva. Rav Migar Rebrius Baal Peiros Chenvoni. Okay, 1 second. Next one. Rav Nachman Olam Baal Labachal Brios. Umashma umishum hochel lo yofi shel hoisi chol lehonos mena avga shechol lehonos blek chukupeyo. inu nefesh, have umefer dochtan is garshi choli honus blekshul peyot less butoy misano das even sive commercial is garshi yasa bal lios bechal isabrios elder shemir kafish shonim. Okay, let's go further. Esvei top. Now, what are we saying now? That because after the divorce he's going to be considered part of the neder, therefore he's able to annul the neder now, right? But why can't he? Since she has no alternative once she's divorced of blekshul peyot, therefore even now he can't annul for afterwards. Now he's not included within the neder, which is I will not benefit from people. It means not her husband, right? But what? So if that's what about once she's no longer his husband, her husband, he divorces her. The answer is because then it's inu nefesh. Then she can benefit from no. The answer is no. She has no alternative. She has lekshul peyot. Eisei Rav Rav Nachman. Ubal la b'chlal briosu. You mean to say, Rabbi Yisrael of Nachman. You mean to say the husband's not included within the neder? But Tanan, listen to the story. The tulani min Yehudim. A woman says, "I will not have sexual relations with any Jew." Okay. This is yofa chelko. She says the husband is able to annul what pertains to him. This is Dvarim Shebeinu Lebeino, right? We said earlier, if he knows the neder, which it says he can, so what happens now? He divorces her. She's not permitted to anybody else, right? Because if it's Inu Nefesh, once the neder is annulled, it's gone. But if it's Dvarim Shebeinu Lebeino, it only affects the neder which pertains to him. But the neder is in place for others. So if he divorces her, she's not permitted to others. No. That's the Gemara's quote. But Tanan, the Tulani Mina Yehudim Yofre Chelko, right? He nullifies his portion with Hamisham Shoso, and she's permitted to continue having relations with her. But it says he has to annul his portion. But if we say when a woman makes a neder, she doesn't include the husband in the neder, why does he have to annul his part? What affects him? But she's still off limits to others, right? That's the question. It says here, if she says, I should be removed from all Jews that I'm not permitted to have sexual relations, it says the husband annuls his part. And that's why he's permitted. But he doesn't annul his part. He's not permitted to have relations with her. But if you say when a woman makes a neder, she doesn't mean her husband, so why over here does he have to annul his part? Then it's what? It's nidri nefesh. Baal la b'chlal briosu. Nidri nefeshu. How is it inu nefesh? The offer law, and he should be able to annul it. Now, when a woman's married to another man, she says, I will not have sexual relations with any man. She's a married woman now. So evidently, what is her intent? No. That's understood. But what is her main intent? She's not going to benefit from her husband sexually. She's not going to benefit. See, if a woman says, I will not benefit from people to have food from them, we say the husband's not included. Because she could benefit from others today. But in terms of a married woman, she says, I will not have any pleasure within a sexual context from any man. What is the main focus of that? Her husband. Because in terms of anybody else, at this moment, she's a married woman. She doesn't mean she's not going to commit adultery. So what was the focus? The focus was the husband. Therefore, under normal circumstances, she doesn't mean the husband. But in this context, where she's off limits to everybody else in either case, because she's a married woman, therefore, here we say this is the exception. She did mean the husband. You got it? That's the reason. Second. Let's see, the Ran. So the wide lines, about 7 lines. Esei Rav Rav Nachman, Ch'du Mireh. Sh'osa nos tashmish oleo, Iyamrit ba'ala b'chlal briosu. He's not included. Why does he have to even nullify his portion? Under normal circumstances, when she makes a neder, she doesn't mean to include her husband, like the case before. I will not benefit from people, meaning food. She says, I will not have any sexual pleasure from any man. Her main focus is on her husband. Why? She's prohibiting somebody who's permitted to her. The Bisura Lomali Lemesar. Kvar Asura Vomedes. Somebody already is forbidden to her because she's a married woman. Does she have to make a letter to say that they're not permitted to her? It's understood they're not permitted to her. She's a married woman. So what's available to her within only the husband? So the primary intent of that neder was what? Less hanos tashmisho, that she doesn't want to benefit from having sexual relations with her husband. Therefore here, her main focus was the husband. Now, just to read the words, he says, if you can tell me the husband's not b'chlal brios, if you'll say the husband is included, tashmish kamro, shebo leser tashmish bailo, hamutlo ima tashmish kol hayudim shemochi yofer chelko bevat, vim tiskaresh, tei netulim min hayudim, yishum david vorm shebein leveino, shu eno mefer lacherim, kedasik nleel, el iyamrit abal la b'chlal brio, so if you say a husband is not part of it, is not included. V'chi omro, netulim min hayudim ein bal b'chlal, the husband's not included. So what is she meaning? If the husband's not included, so what does she mean? I am removed from Jews, and the husband's not included. What does that mean? It means to say food, right? The holo nojan am mitzvah hanos tashmishim elo kochen tulani manos perusem kamra. She mean I will not benefit from their food. So if that's the case, when he nullifies it, he should be able to nullify it, and even after he divorces her, she should be permitted to others. Sexual relations is bein levino. That interferes with their relationship. Not being able to benefit from food, that's inu nefesh. Inu nefesh, once he nullifies it, he knocks it out totally, to himself, to others. It says here that when he nullifies it, only affects him, doesn't affect others. So that's the question. If he's included, right, and we're saying, and it's not referring to sexual relations. It's referring to other things, because either way, she can't have relation with anybody else. So he's referring to food. So if that's the case, why is what? Why is the annulment an annulment? That over here she meant it's referring to sexual relations, and what did she mean? Her focus was what's permitted to me should be forbidden to me. So what's permitted to her? Relations with her husband. Although under normal circumstances, when something's permitted, she doesn't mean to include her husband. But over here, where everybody else is forbidden, right? Everybody else is forbidden. So when she says, I am removed from Jews, what did she mean? Primarily her husband. Further. It says in the Mishnah, now it says she can benefit. The reason why it's not Nidra Yimni Nefesh, because she has a way out, because she has no alternative. She can benefit from the gleanings of the field, right? So the question is, what does it say? What about Mais Oni? Right? The third and sixth year of the sabbatical cycle, the second tithing of 10% you give to the poor man. So it says she could benefit if factually it's the year of the third and sixth year. It should say Mais Oni, right? It says V'loktoni Mais Oni. V'atanya, we have a brayse that it says explicitly Lek Chichu Peyo, and it says Mais Oni. So why does our Mishnah only say Lek Chichu Peyo? Why doesn't it include Mais Oni as it says in the brayse Mais Oni? Right? So there's an argument here. Om Rav Yosef L'Kasher. Ho Reb Lezer Ho Rabbanon. It's Machlos Reb Lezer Rabbanon. Listen, did not Reb Lezer Omein Odom Tzorch Likru Shem O Mais Oni Shel Demai. Now what's that halacha? You buy produce from Namoretz. Namaratzim, they were suspect that they did not take certain times. Truma they took. Because since Truma carries a serious liability of Kores, right? So that they don't play games with. But let's say Meiser, with the 10% you give to the lady. They said, you know something? The 10% is better in our pocket than in the Levi's pocket. Why? How does he look at it? Because really, l'halacha, if you don't tithe the meiser from grain, it's called tevil. You eat that tevil, you're liable for koris. You're liable for a spiritual, which is serious. Except, how does the Amoritz see it? He says, no. The reason why for truma, if I eat tevil, I'm liable for koris, because if I eat truma, I'm liable for koris. But if let's say I would eat meiser. Let's say a person tithes the meiser and doesn't give the Levi and he eats it. What is he doing? It's called stealing. The money belongs to the Levi, and you're not giving it to the rightful owner. It's not koris. So therefore, the Levi, the way he sees it, if I don't tithe the meiser, what did I do? It's stealing. That's the case. He doesn't tithe it. So the Rebbe says, "Ein odem tzorach likro shem al meiser oni shel t'mayim." You don't have to. It's already there. Okay? Chacham omrim kori shem ein tzorach lahafish. You have to identify it, but you don't have to remove it. Maila. So what's the argument? What's the argument to Rebbe in the Chacham? My love, Lamadio Masveko, Tovel, Ksovi Islay Tovasano. Here. Now, we spoke with Tovasano. If I have the right to choose which Levi, which poor man, that means I have a financial interest in that particular 10%. That's what the Torah gives you a right to choose. No, to choose which one. So therefore, if I say, even the Sofek, I have to deal with it, maybe like Tevel, that means it has to be tithed. It has to be tithed and given. So he's of the opinion Tovas Hano is Momo. So Tovas Hano is Momo. She says, I will not benefit from any Jew. That means she can't benefit from my son either. Right? The cave this day Tovas Hano, Lo Mahanyo. Therefore she's not. Ulamandi Omar, Eino Kori Shein. The one says you don't have to identify it. Ksova Sveiku, Eino Tovel. It doesn't. So Ran says, when it says Sofik, means Ivadai. A regular year, even if you wouldn't buy it from the Amoritz. A regular situation, if you don't tithe Maisoni is naturally there. Yeah? Kol Shvekei Tova, lest they Tova said no. V'shari Leila Shenuye. Let's take a look around. Very important around here. The Ran right on the bottom, over here. Ein Odom Tzorach Likro Shem Maisa Sheni Shalonik. Alokech me amoretz, person purchasing produce of la'aser, tzorach la'aser, v'lichom trumas meiser, you have to take meiser, and you have to take trumas meiser of the meiser. V'nosa l'kohen, u'maser rishon gufi, what about the meiser rishon? From the produce you buy from the amoretz, me'akva so that he keeps for himself. Al shapir nifrishu, why? Sharei muta l'zorim, v'oschavel avarayo. Hear this. Let's say there's money in question. Do I owe the Levi money or not? What's the halacha? We say the burden of proof is on the one who makes the claim. So since he can't prove, it's unclear whether the Amoretz took Meiser, didn't take Meiser. So I have to tithe because I don't tithe the Meiser. What is it? It's Tevel. So I tithe it. After I tithe, could Levi now come with a claim, give it to me? I said, no, it may not be Meiser. It may have been tithed earlier. Therefore, if you prove to me that you have a claim to it, then I'll give it to you. But until you prove it, I retain it. Avol Maisa Oni and Tzorech Lahafish the Svila Reb Lezda Afilu Vadai Shlefrisho Min Akri Eino Tovel, even definite. Sheik Ochlo B'Misa, there's no Misa B'dei Shamayim. Hilkoch Eino Mafrisho Misofik. Therefore, you have no reason to, even Vadai, you have no Chamom Kori Shem. The Vadai Lo Ifrisho Avi Tevel. If there's definitely there's Maisa Oni there, it's Tevel. It's Tevel. The Ochel Min Akri B'Misa is Misa B'dei Shamayim. Api shem sukan legamri, vein tzorach lesaken lahafrish ma'isa oni hilkoch ma'afrishim yisof. Now, so what does one thing have to do with another? If you have an obligation to tithe, that's an indication you have an obligation to give it. You could pick and choose. If you have no obligation to tithe it, then it's just it's there for the oni to take. It's like chikol payos. So Rand explains it. Who are the levada elimishon sveika nafkina? Came the sveika ve'eno tovel. Ksovale tovas hanor, the tovas hanor betovel ve'eno tovel talyo. Whether you have a monetary interest or not, that depends whether you have an obligation to receive. Why? It says in the pasuk, "V'loichalu Hashem kodshi b'nei Yisrael, es asher yoriminu." You should not desecrate what's consecrated to b'nei Yisrael. That you have to tithe. And what is it? Dashinon. Tasid lichom akosim dam chsiv loichalu mashma. V'ani mitavli You have to tithe. If you have to tithe means it's your responsibility. Why? Because it says it says that you remove. You must remove it. It's like what you remove, you must give. Since you have an obligation to identify it, the 10%, that indicates that you have a right, you have an obligation to give it. What's the connotation of giving? Pick and choose which oni. So pick and choose which oni means. That means you have a financial interest. It's like hefker, it's like ownerless. No, right now the Gemara is going to fall off. The Gemara is going to say that the Torah says you have a right to pick and choose which person. No, you have to give it away. But my right to give it away isn't that I could dictate. That itself is an indication I have a financial interest. I have financial interest. I'll give you an example. You have a Kohen, you have a woman, a Bas Kohen marries an ordinary Jew. She has a child. Her father's a Kohen, right? Father at Truma, he dies. The grandson inherits the Truma. Grandson's a Yisrael. He's not. The grandfather's a Kohen, he dies. His daughter married an ordinary Jew. So the grandson now, let's say, inherits his grandfather. That Truma, could he eat it? He can't eat it. So what he could sell it. Right? There he owns it totally. What do you mean? If you can't eat it? The answer is no, but I have a financial interest. Financially, I own it. He inherited it. Right? Because it was his grandfather's. When the Torah says that you have a right to pick and choose which Kohen, that means you have a degree of ownership in it. The right to pick and choose to give to who? That's ownership. The Gemara says that's synonymous with ownership. So if it's synonymous with ownership, so if she makes it, I will not benefit from any Jew, that means she can't take Ma'aser Ani. Because the owner of that Ma'aser Ani is a Jew, and he has a financial interest in it. The Rebbe Lezer holds, no, that you have no obligation to tithe Ma'aser Ani. It's automatic, it's like Lech Shechupeyo. 10% of the grain is ownerless. Since it's ownerless, that means you have no right to pick and choose. He has a right to take 10%. Okay? So Omar Adlei Abaye, Abaye says to his Rebbe, the Kulei Amasfeiko Tovel. I'll tell you, even Rebbe Lezer holds. Sofek, it's Tevel. It's Tevel. Rebbe Lezer, Rabban Bokum, Rebbe Lezer Sova, Lo Nechshva Amoretz Al Ma'aser Ani. Here, this is very simple. You know why you don't have to take Ma'aser Ani? It's because, why do you have to take Ma'aser? Why do you have to take Ma'aser? No. You have to give 10% to the Levi. Man says, 10%, that's a hefty piece of the profit. I'm not giving it. So he doesn't tithe it. So because the Amoritz is suspect, he doesn't take Ma'aser. You buy it, you have to take it. You have to tithe it at least. Ma'aser Oni. What qualifies you to get Ma'aser Oni? Just that before. You know what the Amoritz? Let's say the Amoritz will disown everything he owns. He takes it for himself. So he has no reason not to tithe it. He disowned everything, tithes it, claims it, then afterwards he reclaims everything he owned. So that's the machlokas. According to Rebbe Lezer holds that what? Ma'aser Ani makes tevel, causes tevel. Except by what? By Ma'aser Ani. The reason why the Amoritz, when you purchase grape from Amoritz, you don't have to take Ma'aser Ani, because that the Amoritz definitely took, as he explains. If the Oni would actually disown everything he owns, he would qualify as a poor man. The shokaleh, and then he has a right to take it. Leslie Pseudo, he has no financial loss. So if it doesn't cost me, I'll tithe it, I'll reclaim it. But the 10% that goes to the Levi, if he's not a Levi, he says, I'm not taking it. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to forfeit 10%. Rabbanon Savri, no. Nichsei lo mafker inish. The Amoritz is not going to take a chance. What happens? He has to disown everything to be able to claim the Ma'aser Ani. What happens before he has a chance to reclaim it? Somebody else comes and claims it. No, the guy's out of fortune. Exactly. So therefore, the Chacham hold, a man's afraid to do that. The Amoritz is afraid to do that. So if he's afraid to do it, he's not doing it. So therefore, when you purchase the grain from the Amoritz, you have to take not only Ma'aser Rishon, even Ma'aser Ani you have to take. Dilma zochi bu'inish achrino. Hilkoch nechshedu. Therefore, the suspect. Not only is the Amoret suspect he take Ma'aser Rishon that goes to the Levi, even the Ma'aser Oni, he's also suspect he didn't take. Okay? Rav Amano. Kambe Ma'aser Oni hamischalik b'toch habayis nechsive nesino. The Nosata lalevi lager. He says, we're talking about two different Ma'aser Onis. Let's say a person has grain in his house, right? And now you want to go to take the grain from the person.
He has a right to take it.
No. There, everybody agrees you cannot take it. Because there he himself is choosing to give to who he wants. Tovas Hano's moment. What about here he took it and he gives it over, he puts it into the granary. He leaves it in the granary. Once he leaves in the granary, that's an abandonment. It's Ma'aser Oni, but who did he leave it for? Whoever's poor. But his right to pick and choose he gave up. At the granary. So if that's the case, there's no problem. So the Brisa that says Ma'aser Oni is speaking where the Ma'aser Oni is in the granary. So since he left it in the granary, that means he forfeited his right. He gave up his right to pick and choose. I don't want to bother with it. I got to be bothered. You have poor people knocking on my door. Take it, put it in the granary. Whoever is poor, let him go take it. So if that's the case, he's given up his right to pick and choose. No, yeah, definitely. Like a lady, same thing. Exactly. So you're 10%, I pick and choose which poor man. So if I didn't leave it, give up that right, I said, you want it, come to my house, pick and choose, my right is an indication of a financial interest. Therefore, if you make it neti, you're not going to benefit from Jew, you can't take it from me. What about I gave up that right, I just left it in the granary. So then I have no financial interest. If that's the case, she could take it. That's rubber. If the Ma'aser Oni is distributed from the house, the chsiva bein nesino, that's where he gives it. The nosata lalevi lager, the Levi is the Ma'aser, and the ger is the what is the Oni shemochi osale lasnuye. Therefore, she's not permitted to benefit, right? Because the person has a finance. It's in the granary. Just leave it in your gates. There's no reason why the person can't benefit now. Why? Because even though she made a neder, the financial interest of the original owner is no longer there. Therefore, it's considered ownerless. It's there for the poor man to take. Good. Kohanim Levi and Nenenli. Yitl. It says, she says, not she, anybody says, Kohanim Levi are not permitted benefit from me. A man says that, every Kohen could take the truma against the will of the person. Every Levi could come make a claim against the will of the person. No, not after. Wait, we'll see in a minute. Degmar's going to ask a question in a minute. So we're saying the netter evidently is not a netter. The netter is not binding, right? Kohanim Levim neneli yitlu alma tovas hanoina momon. So evidently, if they could take it, that means your right to pick and choose the coin. That's not called a monetary interest. So that's not called they're benefiting from you, right? That's the first statement. Ema Sefer. Let's read the conclusion of the Mishnah. Kohanim elu Levim elu neneli. They said these Kohanim, these Levim cannot benefit from me. So it says yitlu acherim. It says other Kohanim come and take it, but they avalhani lo. But the ones he made. But the question is, alma tovas no moment. What do you mean? We just finished saying at the opening statement. If you say all Kohanim and Levim cannot benefit from me, any Kohen can take it. So what does that say? That the right to pick and choose the Kohen is not a financial interest. Then it says, what about if I single out the Kohen and Levi? They can. But we're saying pick and choose the Kohen is not a financial interest. Even they should be able to benefit. So we have a stira, we have a contradiction in the Mishnah. You following? It's a contradiction. Omer Avoshio, Lokasha, no problem. It's not a problem. Ho Rebbe Yosef Yehuda, to Machlokas. Listen to the story. When the Tovas no moment, Tovas no moment. It's a tremendous dochik. We're saying in the Mishnah. The opening statement in the Mishnah is going like one Tana, and the closing statement is going like another Tana. The Tanya. Hagone tivlo shel chaveiro. Person steals tevel untithed grain. V'ochlo. Meshalim lo demei tivlo divrei Rebbe. Rebbe says he has to pay not only for the chulin that's there, but he says even the right to distribute it. The right, a person has a financial right to give the truma, a financial right to give the meiser, so you have to pay chulin plus that right. Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, and Mishalim Elad Mechulin Shuvah. No, you only pay for the chulin, not the right to give. So my labo, what's the argument? My labo kamifli. Evidently, this must be the argument. The Rebbe Sava Tovas Hano Momo. Rebbe is of the opinion the right to pick and choose. That's a monetary right. So not only do you pay the chulin, you have to pay the value of the right. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda Sava No Tovas Hano Momo. So therefore, what do you pay? You pay just for chulin, because there's no other monetary interest. The Gemara says no proof. No proof. The Kuli Alba Tovasano ain't a moment. I'll tell you both Rebbe and Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda both agree Tovasano ain't a moment. Even Rebbe agrees ain't a moment. They're arguing the tithes that weren't taken yet. Do we see them as if they were taken or not taken? Yeah. So if you see them as taken, so what did I actually take from you? I only took your chulin. But if I see them as not taken, so I took everything from you. Right. So I got to pay for the full tevel. Meaning, until I tithe it, what is the status of tevel? It's chulin. Right. So you have to pay for the full value. According to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, he says, no. I already see it as if it was tithe. Even though he didn't separate the truma and the meiser, I see it if it was tithe. So what did I eat of yours? Chulin. So I only have to pay you chulin.
Instead of 100, say.
Whatever it is, whatever the percentages are. Smar asks, he says, even if you say you don't see it as tithe, but factually, within that grain, there's a potential you have to give away truma, you have to give meiser. How can you tell me you have to pay for 100%? Doesn't make any sense. Even if we don't see this, it was tithe, but since factually you have to relinquish a certain percentage for truma and meiser, why should you have to pay 100% of what I took? El Hainu time of the Rebbe. Somewhere says a whole different shot. You know what Rebbe, the rationale of Rebbe is why you have to pay the full amount. Konsur Rabban Laganov. Kechlo Dignov. The Ganov feels he has an easy deal over. You know what he does? He steals the tevel, and the tevel is worth a certain amount, and he only has to pay for the chulin. He deducts all the percentages. The man couldn't care less about truma, meiser, being a thief, and doing everything else. Figures he has an easy way out. He'll only have to pay back, let's say, 2/3 of what he stole. You know something? You think you're going to get away with it? Even though legally you only owe 2/3, you're going to pay 100%. We penalize the thief to penalize him, to deter him, not to justify stealing. Right? That's Rebbe. Therefore, you pay 100%. Rabbi Yosef Yehuda says, no, the other way. I'll tell you, Tovasa no moment. You know something? If you would have done everything right immediately, the man would have taken you truma and meiser. You should have tithed it immediately. Rabba Omar. Okay, that's the way he says. Rabba Omar. But we're back to the Mishnah. How do we reconcile the Mishnah? We're back to the Mishnah. From the first statement in the Mishnah, it's indicated that you take it away, that the netter is not in effect, which indicates Tovas HaMamon is Einamon. Tovas HaEinamon. And then it says, well, if I single out the Levi and the Kohen, then they can't. So, Rabbi Omar, shiny truma dainu time with the yitla korcho. We should be truma lochazi el kohanim. Now, person says no kohen could benefit from me. So how's the kohen supposed to get it? So what do you do with it? The keva de koosi lemeisra lai shavik afra balma. What is your right? Tovasa knows mama. But what's your right? Your right is only distribution rights. If you make a netter and say no kohen will get it, you know what you just said? You forfeited your rights. You say, my rights become inoperative. So you know what it means? A person has dirt. You have rights to distribute dirt. You turn the truma into worthlessness. You only have a right to distribute truma if there's going to be a kohen who could receive it. But if you made a net and no kohen could benefit it, so what's the value of your right? You only have a right, but what you created was you forfeited your right. But if I say only kohen A and kohen B, I'm retaining my right. Because I could exercise my right to give it to another kohen. So we factually Tovas Hanos Momo. Right? The right to distribute is what? Is a monetary right. So why could they take it? The answer is because by making the netter you forfeited your right. But if I identify certain kohen and Levi, I didn't forfeit my right. Therefore that kohen cannot, another kohen can. Excuse me. Mishnah.
Is it presumed that the Kohen who benefits
It's not donating anything. The Torah says you tithe your miser. Now you have a right to pick which Levi. It's your, and that's a financial interest. So you make a netter. You Levi A cannot benefit from me. He can't take that miser because he's benefiting from me. Correct? What if I say no Levi can benefit from me? You tell me, what's your financial interest in miser? The right to distribute. But based on your netter, what did you say? I'm not distributing. God says, Hashem says, you're not distributing, then you have no, you forfeited your right. That's the first statement in the Mishnah. But what about he singles out a specific coin, a specific Levi? He's retaining his distribution rights. It's only to this coin, this Levi, I'm not going to give it to. So let's say that coin and Levi take it, what are they doing? They're benefiting from me. Of course, I still retain the right to determine who gets it and who doesn't get it. It's very good. Okay. I'll give you an example. Just a person buys a franchise, a certain section, a certain city, to sell a certain product. So the one who sold the franchise, they have a dual interest. Firstly, they made money selling the franchise, but they want to distribute their product. The guy buys the franchise, but there's certain conditions to the franchise. You have to keep the store open so many hours a day. You have to furnish it. You have to stock it. Man says, you know something? I buy the furniture. I'm just shutting it down. He says, you know something? You forfeit your franchise rights. You're only a franchise to distribute the product. But if you're not going to sell the product, you know something? You violated every aspect of the franchise. You don't have the franchise any longer. And that's exactly what this person did. No coin will benefit from me. That means, so how are they going to take truma from you? You shut down the franchise. You don't have the right to distribute. It's gone. Okay. Just let's do the next Mishnah. Okay. Even though it's 10. Konig sheni osa al pi abo. A woman says, I will not allow your father to benefit from me. Al pi ovicha. My father, your father, al pi ochi. My brother, your brother, al pi ochicha, any ochela. He can't, because it doesn't interfere with the relationship. Sheni osa al picha. What about you cannot benefit from me? Eino tzorch l'hofer. Because what? That interferes with the relationship. Reb Kiva miyofir. Shemetadi folov. Yosem in a right. Now, a woman is obligated to produce so much for her husband. Right? I mean, her earnings, but what about if she produces more than that? So the more, that's not indebted to the husband. So that's the case. So Rav Kiva says, it's true. For the minimum she has to produce, the matter is not effective, because it's dedicated to the husband. What happens if she goes beyond? So to cover that possibility, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Omer, Yofei Shemi Garshen Teyasurol. What happens if he divorces her? And she should earn whatever it is. The netter is still in effect. As by nullifying it now, because what happens if he remarries her? If he remarries her, the netter is in effect again. You got a problem. See, by knocking it out now, if you should remarry, you don't have to worry about it. We rule like Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri that what? That he could nullify it now because of the eventuality that he may divorce her and want to remarry her, which would be an impossibility. Therefore, he has the right to nullify it now.